Hey my knife friends, this is Connor Chops, and this is the second episode of Friday Knife Fights. That is where I take two similar knives, either from the same company or two, very similar price ranges. Anyway, I make two or more knives kind of compete against one another or compare them straight up. And so this is one of my personal favorite knives here. This is the Eafengrow EF130. And I have really just been infatuated with this knife ever since I started carrying it. I carry this knife probably more than any other knife of its size, more regularly. I got a lot of knives, so I do carry quite a bit different ones just to see how they carry, how they feel, everything, And the EF130 has been one of my favorite go-tos, and I think it's one of my all-time favorite, especially harpoon style knives, and I love a good harpoon. This is the Odin Wolf, and I forget exactly which, naturally, I forgot which one this is. It's like the W1 maybe? I wish I could remember. I will have to correct which one it is. But this is a really good harpoon, very similar, slightly longer handle. If you compare the two, they're very, very similar to each other. But they have different grinds, they have different choils or lack of a choil. This is D2. This is DC53. And like I say, you get a little bit more real estate on the handle side with the Odin Wolf here. And but they're both very comfortable. They're both very, very comfortable. And I'll get into their ups and downsides here. I have used this one extensively. I'm very familiar with this knife. This one I have had for maybe a couple of months, but I have done just almost nothing with it. I was just buying, the harpoons that are looking at very well regarded and highly praised harpoons. And this came up. This was reasonably priced. I can't remember how much it is. I'm going to say $50 or so. This one is actually cheaper. If this is $50. I didn't do my research on the Odin Wolf here, but I will correct anything in the description. This one I know is between like $40 on the high end and down to like $27 or so whenever it goes on sale, which is quite often. 3 or 4 times a year, these go on sale. This one has a sharp, nice sharp flat spine for fluff, for striking fire steels, which it does come with in the sheath, which is excellent. This one is rounded off all the way except for up here where it was fairly sharp already, but it wouldn't strike a fire steel hardly at all. But it was I just took 15 minutes and kind of used a diamond sharpener. I think it was a 400 grit, and maybe 15-20 minutes on there by hand, just while I was watching TV or something, and put that on there, and it strikes like a volcano, whatever it is, like a napalm. It's a launcher. It's a spark launcher for sure. This one I haven't really done that with. I can tell that I have. I can feel right here that I have done it, but I don't remember how well it works. I'm sure it works excellent because it's pretty sharp. Let's go ahead and get them tested. Price difference, I think, is maybe this one's might be a little bit more. The fire steel inclusion might be part of that, but I'm not sure. This is D2. They both should perform almost exactly the same. I already know how this one does. This one's gonna have to, it's gonna have to really wow me to do better than this guy. But let's go ahead and look at the tips and stuff. You can tell that the Eafengrow is definitely this one here on the right is stouter. It's got a more sturdy tip. This one's a little bit thinner, but I wouldn't necessarily call it thin. It's just thinner than this one. But and you do get a little bit more blade edge on here because this one has almost no choil. This one does. This one has a kind of a big choil. The lack of the handle does make up, so so you do get a little bit more. If I don't grip up on the choil, you can see it's just big enough. With gloves on, it makes it look worse, but it still fits my hand pretty well. It's just a little shorter, But if I don't, I usually creep up here if I'm using the knife for fine tasks and kind of just put my finger right here. It's still away from that choil, but away from the edge. But it really gives my thumb good purchase for up here in the poon area, harpoon area. Quit sliding. This one, the hand is, I'm really having to stretch my thumb out to get my finger up here to help reinforce that, to get it right up on that for extra cutting here. And when you do creep up, this is pointier. This part here is pointier, and so it doesn't feel good. If you're wearing gloves, it doesn't matter that much. But when you're without gloves, it's not very comfortable up here like that, which kind of negates some of the uses for the harpoon. You still can do the pinch grips, and that's made more for the index finger. You see, it's more in place for the index finger, whereas this one here is more for the thumb. This one here is more for the thumb. For the finger, I mean, it's kind of too far. You see that? You'd have to choke back on it a little bit, which I think is fine too, because then you're just down in this area. So, this does limit you unless you got real big hands, XL, bigger than XL, or real long fingers. All right, enough bibble babble. Let's go ahead and get these guys tested. Let's do the Odin Wolf first. Let's see. The wind's blowing, so you can probably hear that tin, my neighbor's tin, flopping around on their roof. It's a lovely sound. I'll go ahead and pick that up a bit. It went through the knot, but it didn't break right. Let's go ahead and do it again. That stick landed right on my big toe. That didn't feel too good. Oh, it looks great. No issues. I wouldn't expect any issues. Let's go ahead and do some other stuff. Let's do this. I don't like how that wobbles. If I put it like this, that's better, yeah. Seems to be like a good knife. Oh. let's do a divot. Now keep in mind this is just some silvered pine. It's nothing super special. Every once in a while it gets fairly hard, but most of the time it's not that hard of a wood. But you know, a lot of times, you know, when you're out and about, that's all you're going to come across, and that's probably more preferable than getting a really hard wood, unless that's all you got out in the wild to deal with. Let's go ahead and I guess I could go ahead and do a little tip test in here. I'm not going to go crazy with this one. We'll go ahead and break this apart though. Trying to figure out how to do it right here. Sorry for hitting the camera. Sorry, guys. Every time I hear the wood crack like that when I do this side test, sometimes I think I'm breaking the blade, which I have done. You don't want to do this too much because it does weaken the tip. Over time, you do that enough times and it weakens the tip. I'm just doing it just to show that this D2 is, the heat treat is good up to the tip. For my own sake anyway. This is a very good blade. I really like this. I don't know if I like it as much as my EF130, my Sandshark, but man, this guy is good. This is a good knife. I wouldn't think twice about buying this knife again. I'm dropping this from about 3 foot above the stump. It is a strong tip and a good heat treat. Now let's do some feather sticks. Where's my feather stick stuff? I think I broke it on the last video. The one with the bison helicopter. I'm pretty sure I broke it. I chopped it like an idiot. Woo! Let's not stab ourselves. That would be foolish. Pretty foolish looking. I mean, it makes good curls, really good. This thing is exquisitely sharp. I dig it. I dig it. All right, let's move on. I don't think there's much else to show, and I do have another knife to do. Did the tip test. Did some batoning, which is not that hard on a knife unless you hit a knot. It's mainly hard for the impacts and the to see if there's any stress, you know, any lateral stress on the blade. But it's not. It's a minimally difficult hardship for a knife. This one, I have absolute supreme confidence in this. This one, I grit my teeth when I do it because this knife is a tank. This is a tank. You can feel free to beat this one up, and it's gonna come back for more and more and more and more. This is a tough little booger of a knife, y'all. I really like this one. Again, I just purposely beat on it because it is so reliably good. I'm gonna make sure. Okay, good. Break. This thing is just so tough. It is so incredibly tough. Let's go way down here. Let's do some cross grain batoning. This knife has done this 1,000 times, and it's fine. Of course, it's going to be fine. That's hard on an edge. Cross grain batoning is one of the hardest things. It's a real stupid thing to do, straight down like I'm doing it. I mean, if you want to preserve your knife, this is just for you know, testing. This just to show. This is to show. Now, I don't. You notice I did not do this with the other knife because I don't want to destroy that knife. And this is what has destroyed many a knife for me. Many a knife. I say that, and it's like 4 knives. That's a lot. 4 knives is a lot to ruin that you paid for just to trying to learn stuff, to try not to, you know, to do it right. So, yeah, I've warped a few edges really badly. So I can reprofile them, I think, but man, yeah, they're pretty beat up. That's a skill I've got to learn. I've got to learn how to reprofile. It's not something I'm good at, and I would like somebody to, you know, you guys to help me learn how to do that. What am I doing here? I've already beat this knife up so good, and this is not a chopper. This is not a chopper. Oh, I guess I could do feather sticks. The other one's going to be easier, I think. I've never been too good at feather sticks with this knife, or in general, but mainly with this knife. I've actually started to get pretty good with a Scandi, which is supposed to be like the easiest thing to do feather sticks, but maybe it's a convex Scandi, or convex edge, I mean. Let me see, this is what this knife like does these big old chunky ones, or at least I have trouble, because the edge behind this is thick. It's a lot thicker than the other one. It's like 0.04 for a small knife. I mean, it's pretty stout. It probably could use a little bit reprofiling, maybe a nice convex edge on it. But this is, I mean, like I said, this is usually under $40 on an expensive day, it's like $39. This is one of my favorite Eafengrows, if not my overall favorite. Although, you know, I'm a big chopper guy, and this is not a chopper. So this would be my favorite of the smaller knives. Overall, it'd be very hard for me to pick. Eafengrow 143 and Aus 10 is one of my favorite Eafengrows, period. But there's so many of them, I have trouble remembering them all. If they had names. Yeah, so the other one is far superior at feather sticking. This one is not. This is not good at that. I mean, it's good at anything else but this. You could still. You don't have to be good at feather sticks, you know, or the knife doesn't have to be good at that. It can be good at everything else and still come across those okay. And there's plenty of people that don't do feather sticks. They just cut off little pieces and build a little pile. Just little pieces, and that's all you need. And it's just the method. You just got to learn your method. Is the most important thing, is be confident in the method that you have. So there's lots of people, and there's people with arthritis that do it differently, you know. You stick your knife in the stump, and ain't gonna hurt this thing. I don't care. I don't care about this. I've beat it up so much. I mean, I care. I just don't want to get in the camera. Get in there. Okay. I'm trying to get a good angle for y'all. Oh, good Lord. Feather stick, you. Okay, I am not doing too good with you on the feather stick front. There we go. Oh boy, I'm making a meal of this. Well, there's that. You can just take those off and make a little pile. Ain't gonna hurt it. Oh, get out of here, dog. Go. Shoot. I'm gonna drop a knife on you. That is the Eafengrow EF130, one of my all-time favorites. This is the Odin Wolf. I think it's the W1, but I might be wrong on that. I know it has a name. It has an actual name, but I don't remember it. What else could we do? I think that's good enough. This has been a very long video. All right. This is Connor Chops. Friday Knife Fight. Which one do you think won? This one might have won actually overall, but this one was abused much harder as far as the tip and everything. But this one actually did curls. This one did chunks. But they are different. They look similar, but they function quite a bit differently. This one is like tough as nails. This one is very tough. It's D2, so you got to be a little bit more gentle with it. At least in my experience, D2 is a little bit, you got to be a little bit more gentle with it. This is going to be possible for hunting. I would not use this for hunting unless you reprofile the edge, because it is just so thick. It's so thick back here behind the edge in comparison. You know, it's just a totally different way it cuts in comparison to this. Friday night fight, pretty good. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. This is Connor Chops. Have a good one. Take care. Like and subscribe. See you later. Bye.